use your God power to get everything you ever wanted and live the life of your dreams. The Master's Course. Copyright 2010 by Richard Lee McKim Jr. All rights reserved. Let the quest for knowing begin. What are the characteristics of a reality? A reality is a very individualized set of parameters within which you are aware and exist. What is outside that invisible boundary of awareness is outside your reality. Realities are created by thoughts which include by awareness, defined by belief, and excludes by mutual exclusion. That is, what you know to be true automatically excludes by mutual exclusion its opposite. An example, you know that gravity keeps things pulled down to the ground, so by mutual exclusion you wouldn't believe or even be aware of anyone levitating because it is outside of your belief system by mutual exclusion. The thought doesn't even come to your mind because it has already been pre-excluded from your awareness and thinking. You don't even have a chance to decide because it doesn't even come up. Whatever you believe and know is your reality. Realities do not and cannot interfere with one another. You can have a reality that is based on anything that you want, and it doesn't matter whatsoever what anyone else is doing or not doing with their own reality. While it is true that you are connected to everyone else on the planet, they aren't in your reality unless they are relevant in some way. If you want to do an interesting experiment that demonstrates relevance and resonance, walk up to someone in a crowded mall, street, or subway station and ask them for the time. The moment you approach them, you have proved resonance and relevance in your reality. You couldn't even have noticed them, much less approached them and carried on a conversation unless they were resonating with you to some degree. Know that they are in some way similar to you or your thinking, or you would never have noticed them. Maybe it was the way they were dressed, or the way they carried themselves, or maybe it was a similarity in the way you both think. That is the basis of coincidence. You ask someone for the time, and you end up knowing them or have some other thing in common that you would never have otherwise known. Relevance is similarity to some degree, whether it is obvious, like something that you can see, or not obvious, like something in their thinking, which is something that you cannot possibly see or notice physically. If you see someone holding up a sign or placing an ad in the paper that says, "I have horses and am looking for a trainer," and you are a trainer, you don't think too much of this incident. However, if you bump into them while waiting in line and get to talking, and it comes up, you automatically think that this is a coincidence. But it is not. They are both just simple functions of resonance, one that is obvious and one that is not. But it is still resonance, eliciting experience into your reality by similarity of frequency vibration. In this next illustration, you can see graphically how realities can overlap and how your similarities can be seen as the common area between them. This is a great simplification because realities are very complex. However, it can quickly give you a general idea of why so many people believe that there is only one overall reality. It is simply because most of the people they know share common thoughts and beliefs, and therefore they experience similar realities with each other. The ways that their realities are different never become apparent because they never come up. They are never elicited from each other because there are no similarities on those aspects. People who have unusual aspects in their reality always say, "I thought that everyone could do this." That is simply because they shared so much else in common with their friends and family that they naturally assume that everything was the same, and because the differences don't usually come up, weren't elicited, they didn't realize that they were different. Okay, let's look at this illustration. We got 3 different examples here. In the first one, we got a red and blue circle, reality A and reality B, and they're almost completely overlapped. It says here, reality A and reality B are very similar. The area that they overlap each other is the area of similarity. The part that doesn't overlap is the area that is not the same. The areas that are not similar do not resonate with each other. So we have 2 circles that are almost over each other, and there's a very big area of similarity. This might be the kind of thing you might find with really good friends that have been friends for years and years and years. See, the thing is they've talked with each other about all their secrets and all the things, and they each know and think about the same kinds of things, and so their similarities are very, very similar. They're very, very close. That's an illustration of the reality of really close friends, really close friends. Now we're looking at the example illustration number 2. It's 2 circles completely separate. They don't even overlap. They're just touching each other, but these 2 realities do not overlap at all. They have nothing in common. Here it says, these 2 people will never meet because their realities are so different that it is unlikely that anything will be resonant between them. This could be a human on Earth and a being living on another planet. Well, this could be, somebody here and somebody that lives on another planet, another alien, because your realities are so different. You don't even have a similar planet that you live on. The likelihood that you will meet them is very remote because you've got nothing in common, no similarities whatsoever. Example number 3, you've got 3 realities, A, B, and C. Now, for example purposes, they all overlap in one small area, but then each one overlaps with the other one in a little bit. Here it says, these 3 realities each have something in common with each other, which might be a hobby or a way of life. The area in common between them has high resonant qualities. That is probably how they met. Now, if you look at these 3 realities, they have a lot of area that is not similar at all. That's not usually how it's going to be. Usually it's going to be much closer than that because we do have very high similarities with everyone on the planet. I mean, we're all human. We all live on Earth. We all breathe air, that kind of thing. But just for demonstration purposes, there's a very small common ground between these people. Let's say, for example, just to understand these realities, that small area was they went to the same school. Because let's say that person A might have turned out to be a football player, and person B might have turned out to be a surgeon, and person C might have turned out to be living homeless on the street. So their realities are so different that it is unlikely that they would ever meet. I mean, they would ever get together again. However, if there was a school function that they all showed up at, they would meet because that's the place, that's the common ground they have. That's the part of the reality that's similar. But the rest of the reality is not. They're not going to run into each other in any other way other than the way that they ended up meeting in the first place was being at the same school. So anyway, that's how different realities can overlap and be similar in different ways. Okay, in these examples, you may know other people and of other people by the areas that you are similar. However, even if you meet or are good friends, the areas that are completely separate and completely dissimilar will never come up in conversation or be elicited into awareness with one another. The interaction and communication between these people stays within the boundaries of similarity. That's important. It's within the boundaries of what's being elicited from each other. It's what's resonating between them. They're not going to talk about what they don't have similar. It just doesn't come up. It just doesn't even come to mind. In the examples of longtime friends, the similarity between them becomes more and more pronounced. This can be seen in the first illustration where the circles are very close together. They begin to mention things that they would never usually bring up, and as their awareness of each other grows, so does the similarity of their realities. This results in a feeling of deep connection, of the deep similarity of your realities, which indicate a great similarity in your thoughts and beliefs. This is the hallmark of deep, long-term friendship. That is why when you meet someone new and you start out with so much in common and similarity of thoughts and beliefs, you often say, "It feels like we've known each other for years." This is because it usually takes years to reach that level of similarity.
Options. Now activating the next video, play options. One moment please. Click on the green arrow to start watching the next video. Or, click on the red arrow to start watching the prior video. Or, click on the tan arrow to go to the main course menu and guide, with links to all course chapters, excerpts, and special reports. Up next, special video options. Click on your choice of course videos, menus, and excerpts. Now switching to the special video options menu and activating the video selection buttons. Click on your selection number to start watching the video. "15 seconds till we switch to the next page with the free download information. Pause the video now if you need more time to review the available selections." This is the end of this course video. Its video number is listed above. To watch the next video, simply click on the next video in number sequence. Thank you.